Welcome, welcome. Altcoins. The move could be closer than you think. Good things are happening. The macro. China and America are making friends. It's nice to see. We got Solana ETFs likely coming in the not so distant future, which kicks open the door for XRP ETFs, Litecoin ETFs, Dogecoin ETFs, and AVAX and SUI and everything else under the effing sun. The monetary tsunami is just getting heated up. We're not even at the tsunami wave stage yet. We're at the stage where the earthquake just happened and the water's starting to get sucked out from the beach. Okay? Crazy's about to happen. It's going to take a little while. Nothing happens overnight, but we're heading in the right direction. We got some good things coming, guys. Hydrate. Hydrate to celebrate. Let's go. So, where we talk about that, talking about Bitcoin, talking about charts, answering your questions, second half of stream. What up to everybody in the chat, guys? I see you there. Welcome to the party. Let's go ahead and get into this. So, first and foremost, U.S. and China agree in principle and framework for new trade deal after 2 days of talks in London. Apparently, they've been getting truckloads of fast food delivered. Americans and Chinese are just in there nailing McDonald's burgers all day and nailing out the trade deal. Fantastic. Good things will happen. Good things will happen. The trade deal will come. Markets are going to pump. Just watch how much markets are going to love a U.S.-China trade deal. It's going to be epic. Bloomberg reporting, this is actually very interesting. Bloomberg reports the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, possible contender to succeed Fed Chair Powell. Dude, if you put Bessent in the Fed, let's effing go. This dude is going to juice it hard. The golden era. The golden bull run is upon us. Higher for longer. Again, the most contrarian bet that anybody can make in this market right now is that we're not going to have a 4-year cycle, that it's going to go higher for longer and going to be way crazier than anybody can possibly think. This is the dot crypto, the dot AI boom craziness. Oh, the 2030s is going to be messed up, man. Massive AI related unemployment, hundreds of millions of people unemployed. But that's a later us problem. The now us problem is making sure we're adequately allocated to the market that we show up in every single day to try to get rich. It's coming. CPI today, the most important CPI of your print of your life since the last one. CPI will be a key driver of today's price action. Markets are watching closely. If CPI reading comes in below expectations, expect strong risk on momentum. What's expected? Headline CPI forecasted at 2.5%. Median institutional forecast slightly lower at 2.4. Core CPI projected at 2.9. This will be the first uptick in core inflation since January. A lower than expected print keeps the long trade valid. Truflation saying the BLS CPI forecast 2.4% year on year. Inflation is turning after months of easing. Data shows prices are starting to creep back up. And tariffs just getting started. So the question is whether or not inflation rises meaningfully enough to spook markets, or if we just have lower 2% or under 3%, let's say. Under 3% is not a worry, but people might make it into a worry because people do that. People do that. Price of Bitcoin correcting a little bit after our ride up to 110 here the other day. Again, still within a price action framework here that I can see forming up into a bull flag. Hasn't, confirmed yet. Day 2 of candles, looking bull flaggy currently. Break out to the upside here. Could be good. If you get back under, let's say, about 107, 108, something like that, probably breaks the structure of a bull flag in that scenario. But so far, so good. So far, so good. We'll see how that plays out here in the next few days. Nice volume last 2 days. Let's see how we play out today. Overall, heading in the right direction. MACD trending up, showing momentum turning around here in the markets, which is good. Mr. Crypto Share in this one, funding rates are still low. There is more upside coming. Yep, funding rates have not gone insane yet. Open interest still relatively low overall. Plan C, I agree with this. I've been saying this for over a year now. Longer, shallower consolidation periods become the norm. Corrections will increasingly be about duration rather than absolute depth. Fascinating. That's in response to this chart right here, which kind of fits with my general thesis that it goes longer for higher. Again, look at the gold ETF parallels, okay? Except gold, when it happened, we didn't get all the other stuff, right? Now we got a Bitcoin ETF, which is equivalent to the gold ETF, but you also get Ethereum, you get Solana, you get all the other stuff coming in too. This is institutional structured bid. Again, look at this. Retail FOMO, retail FOMO. And retail FOMO will come and it'll push us higher at a certain point in the big correction period, but the floor is going to stay a lot higher. Okay, floor is going to stay a lot higher. We are in the institutional era of crypto, just like we had an institutional era for gold when gold slowly ground higher for longer, right? Well, guess what? Crypto's here. This is our big moment. Treasury companies, ETFs, countries, everybody piling money in, and it's not stopping. It's going to keep going for some time. As long as people are making a penny on a dollar here, they're going to keep doing it, okay? And they're making a lot more than a penny on a dollar. Let's put it that way, all right? Hasib here, the class 24-25 is a very famous line from the AI16Z guy, Mark Anderson. When he moved to Silicon Valley in 94, the internet boom was already underway. He came from a small town in Iowa and seeing these growing giants like Avalanche and Cisco, he's worried it was already too late by 94. He worried the whole internet was basically done. Hasib says, I felt the same when I first got into crypto in 2018. Polychain, Pantera, A16Z, DCG, and others are already legendary. Was there really space for another VC? Seemed like maybe it was already too late. Don't worry, barely anything has happened yet. Imprint that into your brain. Don't worry, barely anything has happened yet. Uh-oh. What do we got here? We got this is actually on Facebook. Most of you guys won't see that. But there's a pretend me saying, just send half a Bitcoin or send up to 5 Bitcoin and we'll send you 3x back. Get wrecked, scammer. Get wrecked. Scammers. The worst. The worst. I can't believe it's still Facebook's bad. Actually, all social media is bad for scammers these days. It's pretty rough out there. To be honest, it's pretty much nonstop everywhere all the time. Anyway, continuing. Don't worry, barely anything has happened yet. It's a very powerful line because we are still at this stage right now where stable coins are going to come mass. We're at the, it's like this hockey stick, right? And you start going, and that goes like this. We're here. And it's about to go like this for crypto adoption. And it's not going to happen in 6 months. This is what makes me think like the 4-year cycle becomes more and more likely to be broken. Okay. It becomes more and more likely to be broken because, we're going to go, all this is going to happen in the next 6 months. No, it's going to take years for all this stuff to play out. We are in the mid 90s for crypto right now. Okay, we were in the 80s in 2017. We were in the early 90s last cycle. Now we're in the mid 90s and we're about to go into the big boom cycle where treasury companies and ETFs and all this BS happens. This will be the biggest liquidity injection the crypto markets are ever going to see at one given time. And yeah, the crypto markets aren't going anywhere, but this is the last, probably the next few years from here to, let's say, 2028, maybe 2030, the last great mega epic wealth creation event in crypto. Now, there will always be money to be made. Don't get me wrong. There will always be money to be made in these markets. But in terms of exponential returns, this is the biggest money inflows we're probably ever going to see coming into these markets. It's going to be bonkers. Okay. Bitcoin's still 1/10 of gold, less than 1% of the world's population is on chain. There hasn't been a single law passed in the US about crypto. There's not a single major central bank in the world owning any of this stuff. You're not late. Crypto is still tiny compared to what's going to be in the next 20 years. So welcome to the crypto market. Lots going to change from here. Come make your mark. Yes, 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 and yes again to that. I love the sentiment. Guys, if you're trading the cryptocurrency markets, yourself an account on BitUnix. So I'm doing most of my trading app. Shared a great video earlier about the Solana trade thesis. If you want to start trading over on BitUnix, you can long the rips, short the dips, no KYC, no VPN. It's a hot place to trade at, and they got some hot rewards going on right now as well. They got all the big coins, and the more you trade, the more reward you can get. And you actually have $2,000 in trading bonuses if you trade enough. You can get up to $400 in deposit bonus. So you deposit $500, you get $100 back. $1,000, you get $200 back. $2,000, you get $400 back. Okay. Big bonuses over here. Plus, we're giving away $1,000 every day, Monday to Friday, in the live streams. In fact, we're going to do that right now. Let me see here. They got a bit funky today. Put it in 2 columns for some reason. Let's, we can just say here, if we got any double ups, it's going to be a bit funky, this one. If we got any double ups, then we'll see how that goes. We're going to do, Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna choose one from each column. We're gonna do one number from 1 to 56. And these numbers will still be, so if your number doesn't get pulled today, your number will still be valid today and tomorrow and probably Monday next week as well. So, you know, you have more chances to win. We're going to do one to 56 and one to 46. Okay, we're gonna make that a bit funky here. By the way, lock in, guys. This can be you. This can be you. The wife, the kids, the boat, sailing off into the sunset. Make your dreams come true. Okay. This kid here. That kid's got, let's go on with this kid. AI generated. You know what? They're not all first round picks. Can't be a winner on every kid. There's always gonna be one that looks kind of funky, isn't there? It's that kid. Anyway, besides the point. AI generated images. Okay. What are we doing here? We got 1 to 56, 1 to 46. Okay. Choose one random number. 1 to 56. Choose one random number. 1 to 46. Okay, what do we got here? 39 and 17. 39. Here we go. 39. Obviously, we are excluding any deposits under $11. Just because a lot of people are trying to game the system, see all these $10 deposits. People trying to get the hop into the bonus here. I want to make sure it's rewarding actual users, not just people trying to game the system here. So number 39, UID 842711181. Obviously, not revealing your email addresses here. So you have to make sure you check your UID. This will be in your My Rewards section. The guys will put it up later today. So they're manually putting in those rewards for you. Obviously, we're doing this manual spreadsheet, so they're going to put those rewards out for you later. So check in later on your My Rewards tab. In the second column here, we got 17 right here. Fantastic. Another real user. Brilliant. Look at that. Dude put in $286. You got a $500 reward to claim. Very nice. 445-116-171. That is your UID. Okay. Go check it out. Congratulations to today's winners. And moving on. Check this out. So, Jason Yanni, what's the Blockworks said? Met with the top 5 bank the other day. They refer to the tokens as the top 4 and then everything else. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Bitcoin's Ethereum, Solana, and XRP combined get like 80% of all the trading volume in crypto. These are the 4 most popular coins. The household names. If anybody knows any names in crypto, they probably know one of these 4, if not some of these 4. Looks like we'll likely get a Solana ETF the next few months. We had it reported from the SEC that basically 3 to 5 weeks we could have a Solana ETF with staking, by the way. Okay, big news, big news. Surprised actually Solana hasn't moved more on that news. Eric Balcoon is saying, get ready for potential altcoin ETF somewhere. Solana likely leading the way, as well as some basket products via Chase Everett this morning, which includes fresh odds for all the spot ETFs. Check this out. Baskets. So these would be, multiple. The ability to click on one button in your brokerage account and get access to 3, 4, 5 different altcoins. Okay. That's highly likely to be approved. Litecoin's at 90%, Solana's at 90%, XRP's at 85%, Dogecoin's at 80%. Some of these other ones will probably eventually get approved, but it's going to be a while. Okay, these ones will be the first ones. Litecoin, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, they're going to be the next 4 ETFs for XRP, for ETF summer. Solana ETFs will be very successful. Launch day, Grayscale Holdings. Think about this. Think about the overhang that came from Grayscale for Bitcoin. They had $29 billion worth of Bitcoin. Huge amount to dump into the market continuously. Ethereum, they had $10 billion. We've literally seen billions in outflows from the Grayscale, right? Solana, they only got $83 million of Solana, man. There is no massive supply overhang like we had with Bitcoin and Ethereum, meaning when Solana ETFs launch, there's nothing holding it back. Money inflow is going to be money inflow. There's not going to be any giant outflows like we had with Bitcoin and Ethereum because there's no existing big trust like there was with the Grayscale Bitcoin and Grayscale Ethereum. We're just going to have pure flows, baby. And if we have $100 million flowing to Solana, that's a lot of buy pressure. If we have $1 billion flowing to Solana, that's a lot of buy pressure. And Solana is very popular, in case you haven't noticed. This is going to be massive. absolutely massive for these altcoins because $1 billion does a hell of a lot more to move the price of Solana compared to $1 billion into Bitcoin, or even $1 billion into ETH. $1 billion into ETH more significant, obviously, than $1 billion in Bitcoin. The market cap Bitcoin's over $2 trillion. The market cap of Ethereum is what, $300 million, something like that right now, or 300 billion. Sorry, $300 billion. Solana, by comparison, is around 80, 90 billion currently. So if we get the kind of inflows that Ethereum's had, which is about $5 billion so far, that's extremely impactful. That's about 6% of the current market cap of Solana. That's a shit ton of money. Okay. We don't need a Solana shit ETF. It's coming. It's coming, dude. Love it, hate it, doesn't matter. Don't step in front of the soul train. I agree. I agree, man. You don't have to love any of these things, but it's coming. It's coming. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Because you can't always be both. Okay. I think when the Solana ETF comes, it's going to bring a lot of bid for Solana, and it's going to open up the door for all the other altcoins as well. Litecoin probably still has a great trade off of the ETF, and you'll have diminishing returns on this stuff. How much money is really going to flow into some of these ETF products is pretty questionable, right? Obviously, you need BlackRock on board, Fidelity on board for some of these big ones, right? But I think that Solana in particular is a great one. XRP is going to get a shit ton of bid as well. So yeah, bullish, guys. How can I be bullish on that? And even if you don't like Solana, if you have other altcoins, it's going to be the rising tide that lifts all boats when this money starts piling into these other altcoins. ICOBs, so if they're open to including staking on Solana, you already know ETH is going to get greenlit. The golden born is upon us. As long as your bags aren't complete and total dog shit, you're going to make it. Joyful June. Joyful June. Honey XPT of this chart. The more times you test resistance, the more likely it is to break. Amen to that, sister. Let's go. Ethereum to the moon. Psychedelic here. ETH looking very strong, while most are still doubting. ETH dominance pushing up with aggression after trending down for over 3 years. Just had a 1 week super trend buy signal, 1 week MACD flip bullish, 1 week RSI bottom from oversold. ETH dominance flipped green at a few points during the downtrend, but never with the confluence of all three metrics just listed. We've also had nonstop bid from Wall Street on Ethereum, which, to be very clear, we had basically no bid for an incredibly long amount of time. We had very, very little happening, okay? So, guys, seriously, big things at play here, okay? Huge money, $125 million of inflows in ETH products yesterday, okay? And look, a few months ago, the situation was very different for Ethereum, but the devs are doing something. Vitalik said they're going to prioritize 10x scaling within the next year. We have SBET, which is a Ethereum treasury company. They got to dump billions in and run the MicroStrategy playbook bought on ETH. ETF flows are finally showing up. It's okay to be bullish on Ethereum again. I still think there's a lot of fundamental problems with ETH, and I still think Solana is definitively nipping at its heels and gaining market share, and will probably continue to do so. However, there is a trade on ETH right now, and we are trading that trade on ETH. Okay. Be married to nothing. Marry none of these assets. None of these assets are your friends. None of these assets are going to keep you warm at night. You want to sail off into the sunset with your wife and your kids. You got to be ready to sell and be dispassionate towards these assets, because they're only assets at the end of the day. Do not make your identity around them. Yes, never sell your BTC. We're not talking about Bitcoin. No, so you're dead. It's hilarious. As soon as Vitalik dumped his girlfriend, he's able to think right again. He went monk mode. He heard us. He dumped the girls and went monk mode. Let's go. The SEC acknowledges, yes, SUI ETF. Yep, we're going to get it, man. SUI ETF's coming. A lot of other ones too, okay? So it's all coming, guys, but big inflows here for ETH ETF products. And yeah, I know, $3.5 billion inflow or whatever. It's not the same as this. We had 430 million yesterday into Bitcoin, 386 million the day before that, 45 billion total. I get it. But I'll tell you what, 3.5 billion into ETH is a lot more impactful here, okay? And when we start seeing these kind of numbers on Solana, hold on to your butts. Now, Ethereum currently correcting a little bit after the big run up here yesterday. We got up to $2,800, pulling back a little bit. I would ideally like to see it hold 2740. You can see it has previous resistance here and here. at a very minimum, I would hope we'd hold a 2680 approximately right down here, which is where we had the daily candle closes in these three areas here. Okay. So that would be the most important thing, I think, for structurally ETH right here to do. Let's see how this pullback goes, whether or not we just bull flag here, or if we actually get a more a deeper pullback, maybe to the 200-day EMA. By the way, 2680 would be around the 200-day SMA, not EMA. So that would be totally cool and normal, man. Nothing to worry about there at all. ETH still looking very good at the first attempt at the breakout of this major consolidation period. If we can actually make this into a real breakout, big things are going to happen. By the way, we did have volume backing these moves up here, which is nice to see. Luigi, all-time high transactions for Avalanche. Price, though. Man, the amount of stuff that's been happening on AVAX, and yet the effing price doesn't do anything. Transactions are pumping and all kinds of stuff's pumping, man. Users are pumping in, money's pumping in. People are making shit tons of money on launches happening on the Arena, which, by the way, we flagged Arena in the Wealth Master newsletter as a high potential altcoin a few months ago. And of course, it's up like 300% or whatever since then. By the way, just, toot our own horn there a little bit. Link down below if you want to sign up to the newsletter or the Discord. But seriously, AVAX has been absolutely killing it. And there's been all these meme coins launched and people making a bunch of money. Are you in it for the tech, Lark? I love the tech. The tech is how we make the money. I am in it for financial freedom. The tech is a means to an end. Avalanche here. Man, so much good stuff happening. At least we have a MACD bullish crossover, so that's positive. Maintain the 20 and 50 day. I think we got ourselves something going on there, man. We got ourselves something going on there. All right. Let's see how we go. But as long as we maintain above 20 and 50, I think it's good. Get back above the 200 to 25. I mean, man, the price action on Avalanche has been so bad. And again, if you compare that to Solana, if we'd followed Solana up, AVAX, even if it had had the similar price action as Solana, would be like $80 to $100 right now. But it's not. Instead, it's 20. It's been absolutely dog shit price-wise, which is tough. And the one reason I don't sell it is because there's so many good things happening on chain, the metrics, the transaction counts, the burn. I mean, it's been crazy. Hey, Ondo Finance, US Treasuries go live on the XRP ledger. XRP, man, I'm still not buying XRP. I trade XRP. Okay, I love trading XRP. Make some money on the bread garlic house coin. But still don't have a spot bag. I'm not going to get one. Prefer other things. That being said, you know what? I may get a spot bag. I may, simply as a spot bag for the ETF trade. I wouldn't hold it for very long, just for that ETF trade. But I could see that, okay? What's happened to me? I don't know. Life's crazy, man. Comes at you fast. Anyway, big things happening over on XRP. Look at this. Stuff just keeps coming in, man. The amount of news that's been flowing in has been absolutely nuts for XRP. Chart looking tasty currently. Consolidating above the 20 and 50-day EMAs with positive momentum here coming in on the daily MACD. Could get a decent little run here. I'm long on this from 223. Hopefully we can keep that up and actually get a decent trade here. Take profit currently in around 260. But if I think we're going to gun harder and farther, I might move that up a little bit. But we'll see how we go. So far, that is the target. Okay. Let's talk stuff, guys. This is actually a fun question to start off with. Get your red light hats on, everybody. Get in your red light pod if you have one. You're probably already in there. And hydrate. Okay, so how's Dubai quality of life? It's fantastic. Look, big fan. Obviously, there are challenges in the summer because it gets very, very hot and humid. You just can't really do a lot during the middle of the day. I mean, I'm not scared of the heat or whatever. I'm fine. I don't mind going out in the heat. I don't mind doing things. I was just out playing golf, not golf, but like top golf, hitting it, trying to hit targets. It's a good time. And it's, I don't know, 40 something today, but it's fine. It's fine. Not standing in the sun, in the shade. It's all good. So heat hasn't been a massive problem for me. So it's a big problem for some people. I don't mind the heat. I like the heat. In terms of quality of life, it's insane. The level of service, convenience, safety is just off the charts, man. Absolutely off the charts. Yeah. So big Dubai fan. Dubai quality of life's fantastic. Why do you prioritize AVAX over Solana? Well, you know, should have sold everything and bought Solana, because it's interesting. AVAX has barely moved while Solana's gone up like 10x in the meantime. It's been dramatic underperformance by AVAX, and why I keep clinging to this bag, it's hard to say. Sometimes I need to be a little more merciless with some of these coins. I like Solana though, and I think I'm gonna actually probably get a spot position on Solana to ride this ETF hype. I feel like this is the kind of move that could see Solana pump 100% between here and the ETF approval. I wouldn't be surprised. Run it back up to previous highs. As long as general market conditions remain not shit, then I could see that happening. Big Solana fan though, just FYI. Your XRP caveat. I know. Hey, shout out to the XRP army, you guys. Kept it real. You deserve your gains this cycle, okay? You really do. The amount of bullshit from the SEC and all the rest of it, it's actually really nice to see a lot of positive things happening on XRP, because I know a lot of you guys have XRP out there, and a lot of you guys are XRP holders, and I want you to win, just to be super, super clear. So, good morning from Cal. Good morning. Let's go. Welcome to your day. Well, I don't know when to expect a Solana ETF. The people who are the actual experts on this shit, not me, people like Eric Balkunis, Jeff Seifert, they said 3 to 5 weeks we might see a Solana ETF. So we could see a Solana ETF then sometime early July or mid to late July. So might be, I'm surprised the market's barely moved on this news. Might be time to think about a positioning on old Solana there. AVAX so far is speculation. Solana has working products. AVAX definitely has working products too, and a lot of good shit happening on there. It's just hasn't had that level of hype and excitement about like Solana has. Should have sold everything and bought XRP. Nah. Respect to the XRP guys, okay? But I'm still not a buyer. But hey, you know what? Like I said, I could see a trade on that, but not like, you know, just blindly holding spot bags for ages. Can you check the SPX 6,900 chart? Sure. Why not? Why not? You guys, everyone loves that meme. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to just like, you know, red pill me on this and tell me why people like this meme. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe that's the problem. I just don't get it. But you know, I guess what's there to get? Does the price go up? Yes. Do people like it? Yes. I guess that's the only thing you really need to get. What's interesting, hold on a second. Let me put this here. What's interesting, last time you guys asked about this, I drew this on the chart. Guess what? We're now up almost at 50% to the previous all-time highs. This thing has been absolutely ripping. Got up 37% from last time you guys asked about it. Beautiful chart. You know, honestly, sometimes people are like, how dare you talk about that coin? You're a horrific person. You are Hitler and your opinions are fascist Nazi ideology, Lark. I like the dog with the hat on it, man. What can I say? If that makes me a bad person, I don't know. Some people get very excited about things sometimes, guys. Here's the thing I think about sometimes. I don't really give a fuck what the asset is. If we're just talking about trading. I mean, holding spot bags, yes, that's a whole different equation. I'm a little more selective when it comes to that. I do like the dog with hat, by the way. I could have a spot bag of that, but I'm a little more selective. Like my biggest portfolio positions, Bitcoin, right? For example, I like things that make sense to me and that I feel have more value. When it comes to trading coins, I don't give a shit, man. Let's trade that stinky hippo coin, man. Let's go. Who the hell cares? Is it going to go? Does the chart look good and is it going to go up in price? Trade it, man. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Don't be a prude about trading coins, man. Anyway, that all being said, shout out to the SPX 6,900 holders. I don't understand what the hell your meme's about, but I guess you guys do, and it's been absolutely ripping, man. Now, one thought here for everybody before you go aping in at the current levels. I would just like to give you some maybe a little bit cold water here. Currently, price has come up to almost exactly tap the first previous high. The second high went a little bit higher. So we have entered the danger zone right now. Okay, this is that awkward zone where it's either you're going to blast off to new highs dramatically, or you're going to face a big rejection here. Okay, retest, it's really far away from the 20-day EMA right now. By the way, retest to the 20-day EMA. You can see this has been a very, very clean chart, very clean asset. From the March lows at 26 cents, it's up massively since then. Now, it took a while to consolidate in this area here, but from the big breakout, we had 1, 2, 3 retests to the 20-day EMA, all of which were buying opportunities. Let's see if the next 20-day EMA retests the buying opportunity, or whether it actually just falls through. But the chart's looking pretty epic right now. Great trending up momentum here on the EMAs. The thing, though, that makes me think a little bit of caution could be warranted here is that we are seeing the price come up to the previous all-time highs, which is, if you're ever going to get rejected somewhere, is going to be right there, man, with an RSI of 80, okay? That's a very overbought daily RSI, which would indicate that a cool down probably comes sooner than later. How big the cool down? Well, who knows? But a cool down will come. You can see when we got up to 80 last time, it was followed by a 50% drop over, well, from the 6th of January to the 13th. Within 2 weeks, it dropped 50%, man. Markets were bullish around that time, too. We also then, of course, recovered 100% or something like that within a few days. So a highly volatile asset, as of course you guys know, followed by a much bigger drop off after that. So a pullback here of 50%, just as an example. I'm not saying that's definitively what's going to happen, but if you were to pull back 50%, it'd pull back to the 200-day EMA. I'm not saying 50% pullback's going to happen definitively. The RSI can remain overbought for days and weeks on end. People can just keep pumping. Just FYI. But you know, danger signs are starting to appear in the current rally on this. Okay, again, bumping into the previous highs with a massively overbought RSI. Now, it can be more overbought and keep pumping higher, but now you're in that danger zone where if you're looking at this going, I'm going to go long on this right now or add a giant spot bag, I think you're taking a lot of risk at the current price. Just from a pure chart perspective, right? Massively overbought RSI right now and coming up to key previous price resistance. Now you break beyond the previous resistance, enter into price discovery. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and I guess this thing goes higher, okay? But warning signs are appearing. Let's just keep it simple, okay? I wouldn't long it right now with that chart looking like that. Let's just say that. What do we got here? Time to check. What the heck is hedgy? What are these? What are these things of which you guys speak sometimes? There are so many coins out here. HEGE. It's just as some random low cap meme coin, huh? Nah. I don't think we're gonna give that any more time. Sorry. Realistic pudgy penguins price this cycle higher. Higher. Look, 10 cents is not crazy in my opinion. Okay, I could see this thing going to many, many billions, especially when markets heat up. It's a very big recognized brand with good mind share, great exchange listings, good volume, deep liquidity. It's got the ingredients to run. Do you like Ordi? Not really. I don't know, man. I just don't. I find myself just not caring about Bitcoin ordinals. It's just another rabbit hole. I just don't have the time to go down or think about very much. I guess if you want exposure to that, Ordi's the way to get exposure to that. But for me, I don't know. There's a lot of other things I can think about that are not that. Huge props for Sue airdrop video. Yes, you're welcome, Aaron. You're welcome. I still got a good chunk of cash sitting over there. The APYs, they go up and down, but I think that airdrop could be worth it, man. SUI airdrops have been pretty lucrative so far. So I think it's one you can get in early on. It's still early. They still have not, I think, done the snapshot for the airdrop. So there's still potential there. SXT space and time from Microsoft. I have no opinion. I have no opinion on it. I don't know enough about it. Sorry. I know you guys mentioned it once or twice here, but I have no opinion, man. Sorry. I need to know something about it, have an opinion, and I don't know very much about it. Is ADA good? I mean, you know, why do I take this bait sometimes? Look, I'm joking. You guys know I love Charles Coin, man. Let's have a look at the chart. Chart's actually not too hot at the moment. What's old Cardano up to here currently? Currently sitting on all the EMAs. Look at that. Now, if you get a daily close on Cardano, I'm going to say around 73 cents. I think that's a probably pretty encouraging sign that we could be pushing a lot higher for this bad boy. In terms of, do I think Cardano has any business being worth 73 cents? No. You're fucking kidding me? Cardano, man. Holy shit. The metrics on this, nothing. Okay. I want to say nothing. I'd be very, again, lots of love for Charles, lots of love for the Cardano community, guys. But I don't want to blow smoke up your butts and sit here and say, you know, Cardano is the best thing since sliced bread, when I don't think that's the case. Let's actually, you know what? Let's bring up the DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama can tell you how shockingly bad the stats are for Cardano, because it's, if you don't know, it's legitimately shocking that it's worth the kind of billions that it's worth, with the kind of on-chain adoption that it has. It makes you think too that if, well, you know that scene in Inception where he's like, "Don't dare to dream a bit bigger, darling." Or is it Tom Hardy? Anyway, if you have a coin like Aptos or Sui or Say, I got good news for you, man. There is good hope for your coin. If Cardano was able to pump to $100 billion last cycle without even having effing smart contracts live at the time, they have smart contracts now, then your coin can go a hell of a lot higher too. Look at this. Aptos right now, TVL is at $1.12 billion. Sui's at $1.96 billion. Okay. These things are have much lower market caps, say $500 million. Now you'll notice, you're like, oh, where's Cardano? Cardano's all the way down here at number 22. Okay. Stablecoin market cap, $32 million. That's shockingly bad. Shockingly bad. You have no idea how shockingly bad that is for a coin worth, what, $30 billion or whatever. It's insanity. TVL, 337 million. So that's good. It has picked up a little bit from, you know, a few years ago, but it's also down a lot from the 2024 November highs. In fact, it's down 50% since that time, while others are actually hitting new all-time highs, like Aptos, like Sui, like Solana, etc. DEX volume, $4.5 million. That's shockingly bad. Again, shockingly bad. Active addresses for 24 hours, 24,000 active addresses in 24 hours. Again, shockingly bad. It's hard to fully explain to you how shockingly bad that actually is. These are like insane numbers here, okay? So we can compare, let's compare that to one of the competitors, just as an example, okay? Let's say, where's Sui at? Sui, okay? A coin with a quarter of the market cap. $1.1 billion in stable coins. DEX volumes, $350 million. Perps DEX, 66 million. TVL, 1.95 billion. Okay. What about our old buddy Aptos? Stable coins, 1.3 billion. DEX volume, 182 million. Perp DEX, 25 million. I mean, these are shockingly divergent numbers here. Anyway, let's stop kicking Cardano in the balls. We're gonna move on. I don't get it. It's a cult coin, man. That's all it comes down to. And look, don't be offended when I say it. Cardano's a cult coin. It's a good thing. It means your price stays high because you have this group of hardcore inner circle believers who, despite the non-existent metrics on this chain, keep buying it. It's listed on U.S. exchanges and people know the name. So when the retail comes back and they're going to buy this effing coin and send it to the $100 billion again. Anyway, continuing. ADA is the largest cap meme coin. If you know, you know, Steve. If you know, you know. They really should just rename it Beard Coin at this point. It would be more fitting. Beard Coin to the moon. Mamo and Moonwell. Mamo's been getting a lot of attention recently. It's a whatchamacallit? It's interesting AI agent. Getting shilled by like Brian Armstrong from the CEO of Coinbase. Sui easy 10x this year. Yep. I can see that. Don't know about this year, but depends on the wider market. But if Bitcoin goes to 250K, whether this year or next year, or even a bit longer than that, then yeah, I can see it happening. Cold wallet. Oh, landfill guy is tokenizing 8% of the lost wallet in order to buy the whole landfill. He has 8,000 Bitcoin. Dude, that's a smart move, actually. I am rooting for this guy to win. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know the story. There was this guy in Britain, I think it was in Britain, and he's, I don't know, they threw him, or I think it was maybe his girlfriend, threw away the hard drive that had like 8,000 Bitcoin on it. And this was back in the day, and it wasn't worth very much money. And now like he's been trying to get access to get into that landfill literally for years, and the city council won't let him do it, and blah, blah, blah. The city council are a bunch of dumbasses. What they should have said to him is say, yes, you can do it, but we have a 10% finder's fee. Easy. What an easy win. Of course they are. They're city council politicians. Of course they're fucking idiots. Anyway, they should have said that to him back then. Yeah, you can mine the landfill, but we get 10%. Instead, no, you're not allowed to mine landfill. Get out of here. Now dude's just gonna buy it. Okay. And fantastic. Then people who buy into it will get 8% of the Bitcoin. I dig it, man. Rock. I want this dude to win. I want this dude to win. What would be your meme pick of the cycle? Gosh, there's so many, Zach. There's so many. I currently don't own it, but I am a big fan of Fartcoin. I think Pengu's got great potential. Dog with Hat's a classic. You know, it really depends. I mean, what you're looking for. I got a big bag of Pepe because I think it's a good ETH beta with ETH pumping. Probably going to do a pretty nice move. But it's going to be one of the smaller gainers in terms of the meme coin game here, right? It's not going to have a 100x move. If you're looking for massive, massive gains, you know, you have, what is it? Cat with Mask. That's pretty popular. Hasn't rugged yet. That's, you know, it's good for a meme coin. It's been alive for a couple weeks and it hasn't rugged yet. That feels like a win in of itself. Geez. Look, it depends on what you like and what you're after, what kind of risk you're willing to take. And it's easy to hear you just rattle off a few names, right? Are you a cat guy or a dog guy? Or are you a frog guy? I don't know. Really, it comes down to what kind of risk are you willing to take. Some people don't want meme coins at all. It's too risky for them, or they don't like meme coins because of what they represent, the financial nihilism and the degeneracy of what the space has become. Me, I like meme coins. I like investing in them. It's fine. They're fun. Why not have some fun with your crypto investing? Okay, have serious shit. Okay, have serious shit like Bitcoin. And then you can have some Pepe coin. Why not? But low risk meme coins are those sort of multi-billion-dollar ones that have kind of proven themselves, right? Whereas the high risk stuff is the new stuff coming out. If you want something you can take one Solana and turn it into 10,000 Solana, you got to find the under $1 million market cap ones. If you want something that you can trade reliably with good charts, it's the big ones that are listed on lots of exchanges. So I like doing that. Or you can even buy spot bags of those and you're probably gonna get 5-10x returns. And shit, the market likes those a lot more than they like all these layer ones, don't they? Look at the returns. Just look at the returns. That's all it comes down to. Concrete Donkey. Interesting. He only focuses on activity and on Cardano. Well, I mean, I think it's a pretty important thing to focus on, the fact that there is almost no activity. And again, I want Cardano to win. People get super triggered whenever I talk about anything negative about any blockchain. I talk about negative shit about all the blockchains. If you can't have any criticisms of the crypto assets you own, then you're lying to yourself. Straight up, okay? Just you need to understand that. But I think the lack of activity on Cardano is a massive problem. You don't think that's a massive problem? This is due to lack of stable coins. Yes, where are the stable coins? Okay, they're coming. Fantastic. It's been years. We've literally been waiting years. I first bought Cardano in fucking 2017, man, and I made a 50x on it. Love Cardano. Big fan. Big fan. Like Charles Hoskinson. Big fan. It's 2025. Where the fuck are the stable coins? Why is it taking until 2025, dude? Ask why Lark does focus on the fact that Cardano it doesn't focus on the best blockchain period. If it's the best fucking blockchain, why is nobody using it, dude? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. If it's the best, where is everybody? Where is everybody, man? Why aren't there stable coins? Why isn't everybody building on it? Why aren't developers lining up around the fucking street build on Cardano? Why aren't users trading on the DEXs? Why is there only 24,000 active addresses a day on chain? Where the fuck is everybody if it's so good? I know. I haven't read all the fucking technical documents, but I've read a lot about Cardano. I've done a lot about Cardano. We've made videos on Cardano. I'm a fan. Again, I want them to win. I like the nerdy bullshit that Cardano does. Okay? I think there's a great place for that. I think Charles's vision for what he wants to achieve with Cardano is awesome. Show me. Show me. It's not there yet. Very simple. Continue. Oh my gosh. I'm going to answer one or two more questions and we're gonna go and finish up here for the guys. Sol and Sui, man. Sol and Sui, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, man. That's where they are. Why is it that Sui came out of nowhere a year and a half ago and it's got dramatically more adoption than Cardano has? Way more users, way more stablecoins, way more total value locked, way more applications. Developers lining up around the fucking corner to build on Sui. Ideologically, could be the best because of Charles. I think Charles is awesome, man. He's such a great front man for Cardano, and he's such a net positive for the total crypto space. Big Charles fan. I like Charles. He's a cool cat, man. He really is. Again, show me where it is, and it just keeps not happening on Cardano, and it's kept not happening for years. I've heard these same exact arguments for years. Where's it at? Why is it that new blockchains come out all the time and just zip straight past it? Look at Hype, the hyper liquid EVM. It's already doing more than Cardano's done in its lifetime and in probably a week. William, again, you just remember, guys, I want Cardano to win. I want your bags to win. But man, I love Trigger Lark. Passionate, man. Passionate. All they have to do is get stable coins and they win. I have no idea, but that's the thing, man. Cardano's dragged its feet for years. It's very, very slow to move. And you may say, well, that's its benefit. They're taking their time and stuff. Like, this is one of the fastest moving, most competitive industries in the world. I don't know how much time you can take. Apparently, the market gives Cardano a lot of time and a lot of leeway, though. So, again, Fraser, are you a left winger or a right winger? You're thinking in their paradigm. I'm not a left winger or a right winger. I'm a Bitcoin winger. How about that? I'm on Team Bitcoin, man. That's where we are. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm having fun hanging out, guys. This is a really good time. I really enjoy talking to everybody here, but it's up to 48 minutes. It's time for me to log off the internet for the day and go hang out with my wife and my kids. Best part of my day. You guys are the second best part of the day. I love hanging out with you guys. I will see you back tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream.